Your teenage child has been struggling with functional neurological disorder, short for FND, and your child is actually not getting better at all. Well, have you ever wondered why some of the kids with FND are getting better while others, like your child, maybe are not getting better? Well, I have 3 possible reasons why that's the case. And just super briefly, what is FND? Functional neurological disorder, FND, is an umbrella term to describe these short-wired communication problems between a brain and a body when your child's brain and body are looking structurally okay. It is a real diagnosis. Oddly, it's a very common diagnosis you would get in a neurology clinic. However, not many people know about it. And it is not just one thing that is causing, it is a biological, psychological, and social phenomenon. That being said, let me cut to the chase and then give you 3 possible reasons why your child is not getting better from FND. 1 is not accepting the diagnosis. Number 2 is learned helplessness. Number 3 is taking the wrong approach. So let's go one by one. And number 1, not accepting diagnosis. So either from you as a parent or yourself as a teen, or anyone around your child who has influence on you and your child are not accepting the diagnosis. So what would that look like? You might be thinking, this is not a real diagnosis. It's got to be something else. This is actually a cop-out diagnosis because doctors don't know what they're talking about. So what's wrong with that? Well, the impact is what I'm talking about here. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's your right whether you want to accept the diagnosis of FND or not. But if you don't accept the diagnosis when in fact you are given the diagnosis, then this is what happens. Obviously, you're not going to be committing to any suggested treatment or pathway or approach to get better, and you would keep searching for this hidden diagnosis. So this is where your child gets so tired and bombarded with doctors after doctors after doctors appointments. Sometimes these families travel all over the country just to get the answer they're looking for without getting the FND diagnosis being accepted. And obviously, as a result, inevitably, you keep spending a lot of time and energy and money on this incorrect approach or wrong path. And I did a video on this YouTube not too long ago about the hidden cost of FND. It costs upwards of $90,000 per year. That's a lot of money if you're spending every year. But if you're looking for this hidden diagnosis and not accepting the diagnosis, it could end up happening. Case example, I've seen families talking like this. There's gotta be something medical. It's gotta be something else. We cannot accept this. This is really hard. Or saying opposite. It's all psychological. We know that. So all we need is my child to be in talk therapy. That's gonna cure everything. Sometimes yes, a lot of times not really. How about this one? My child has POTS, EDS, dysautonomia, chronic pain, migraine, or other medical issues. So we are just going to focus on that, the medical issues. And then FND, we're going to put that on the side. And maybe it's going to solve on its own. Well, maybe, but definitely maybe not. These things, POTS, EDS, dysautonomia, chronic pain, migraine, these are all connected to FND, but they're not the same thing. So think about it. Your child has a cavity, ulcer, and broken bone, and then you as a parent thinking, all we need is a dentist because dentist can't fix the cavity, therefore he must be able to fix ulcer and broken bone as well. Well, the reality, it doesn't work like that. You gotta go see different specialists to deal with them. Sure, there might be some common denominators. I don't know, maybe lifestyle, right? Eating habit, or continue to expose, into this dangerous activity or something like that. I don't know. Or stressful situation. Who knows? Yes, there might be some commonalities, but those 3 things are separate things that's happening in your child's body. But you can't just go to one doctor thinking that that person is going to fix them all. Sometimes it happens. FND, not so much. Moving on. Second one is a learned helplessness. So what does that mean? Likely, I will say that it is from families getting multiple medical gaslighting, multiple letdown, like, oh, your child is the worst case scenario that we've ever seen. We've never seen anything like that. Or not seeing FND specialists. of course, they don't know what to do. Once again, it's like you're seeing a dentist and then asking the dentist to perform a brain surgery kind of thing. Well, they're two separate things, So if you're not seeing an FND specialist, then likely you're not getting the right answer. Therefore, you feel burned and therefore you feel learned helplessness. It's like, there's nothing we can do to help my child, kind of thing. And then your child is starting to think, well, I can't do anything to control this, and there's nothing I can do. I am so debilitated. I am disabled. Well, my child's in bed all day, every day, and can't do anything. Those are the examples of learned helplessness. What is the impact? Well, a huge one. First of all, your child does not get the real help she needs or he needs or they need. That's a problem. And you as a parent continue to be reactive, panicky, sometimes freaked out, yet feeling very frustrated because you're not getting the help you need. And sometimes you can blame other people for not helping or failing your child. I've heard those cases, so let's talk about that. No one can help me. These are the cases that I have actually encountered. Where do we start? No one can help me, while they're not doing anything. They're not taking any actions. I've also seen this one. Everyone fails my child, with parents keep firing the providers. Parents, for whatever reasons, have this specific agenda that they have to see this specific unicorn. Otherwise, a little thing goes wrong. I'm going to fire you. And at the end, the parents are thinking, everyone is failing my child. I've seen that. How about this? I don't understand why doctors are not helping or not being straight with us. So I don't know what to believe. And that is based on, while very valid, but can be based on one or two bad examples, and you're generalizing it to all of the other future potential experiences. So you're basically giving up. That can happen. I've seen that, unfortunately. And thirdly, sometimes families are taking the wrong approach, likely coming from the parents having difficulty trusting specialists. And I get that. I've been there. I get that. So what does it look like? My child needs to see the specific provider in local town. That is the only way. It needs to be in person. I've seen that. Otherwise, parents might be saying the opposite. I need to see these multiple specialists all at the same time because I don't believe it's just one thing. Yes, I get it, but sometimes you kind of have to start somewhere instead of thinking, unless I can see these 20 specialists all at the same time, I'm not going to do anything. That is also taking the wrong approach because you're not really doing anything to move forward. And how about this? We should be able to find a specialist, I get this a lot, who takes our insurance. Otherwise, it's a scam. Oddly, I've had that encounter. So what is the impact of taking the wrong approach? Well, obviously, your child is not getting better. Your child continues to struggle. And sometimes, if not many times, your child continues to get worse. Because remember, once you get the diagnosis of FND, the time is against us. That means that you've got to start the treatment or healing journey as soon as possible. The longer you wait, the chance of your child getting better completely continues to go down. So you need to take action. And the other impact of taking the wrong approach is you continue to search for this unicorn that does not exist. In the meantime, you continue to feel frustrated along with your child. Case examples. I've had this actually. We live in Timbuktu and we don't want to find a provider outside of our hometown. So we're going to continue to find and look for this unicorn specialist for FND for my child in my town. How about this one? My daughter has POTS and FND, but we want to work with the POTS specialist and hoping he can also fix FND at the same time. The other one is, how dare you don't take insurance? You as a professional, you should feel embarrassed. And I have a lot to say about that, this insurance, healthcare system, and that's a whole another level. But it's not that we are not doing anything, but if the insurance companies are not reimbursing for our service, we can't really make a living, right? And that's why I do things like this to provide free information to everyone who has access to YouTube and my channel. And it is my duty and responsibility to continue to expand the awareness about what teen FND is and the hope that you actually can get better. And I truly believe that. There are so many teens that I have worked with, they got better from FND as long as they accept the diagnosis and they did not give up. So no learned helplessness, and they took the right approach. Now, the way I help teens get better from FND may or may not be compatible for your case in particular. That can happen. I'm not saying I am it. I am one option here. So what I want to do is, if this is something that you want to get better, you want to find the right approach, you are so being sick of feeling helpless, and then you are ready to accept the diagnosis, then it is time for you to check out my free webinar. That link is down below in the description box, and there are tons of free resources that you can do something starting today. So don't give up your hope and just reflect on these three things. Does it apply to you, or do you have another reason why you don't get better? Now, I am specifically talking about you don't get better because you're not getting the treatment. And the reason why you're not getting the treatment is these three possible reasons, all right? But I want to hear from you. What are the reasons why you're not getting better? Because I really want to engage with you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.